back in 2008, 2007, 2008, he was a Green Beret, and he got shipped off to Baghdad, kicking down doors. Some of y'all know what that means. And we had lunch in California, and he said, "Hey man," and I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, 3 years maybe since college. I got some good news, I got some bad news. So what? Good news is, I'm a badass pilot for the Green Beret, and I just got engaged. I was like, that's amazing. He said, bad news is I get shipped off 3 days from now. And this was the worst part of the war. This is the time where every day CNN had the tally of how many people died that day. It was not a good time. And so we had this kind of really bittersweet lunch, and he said, I just married this, or I'm about to marry this girl, but now I have to leave. I can't even marry her until I come back, if I come back. And I'm really kind of freaked out about it. And so we parted ways, gave him a hug, said, and obviously I want to see you again. And then we handed in our album the next week, and this is the song that I wrote after having lunch with him because it was all I could think about. So this is called Come Home. Well, hello world, hope you're listening. Forgive me if I'm young, I'm speaking out of turn. But there's someone I've been missing, and I think that they could be the better half of me. They're in the wrong place, trying to make it right. But I'm tired of justifying, so I say to you, come home, 'cause I've been waiting for you for so long. Right now there's a war between the vanities. All I see is you and me, and the fight for you is all I've ever known. Ever known. So come home, I get lost in the beauty of everything I see. The world ain't half as bad as they paint it to be. If all the sons, all the daughters will stop and take it in, and hopefully they subside and love can begin. It might start now, yeah. Or maybe I'm just dreaming out loud. But until then, come home, 'cause I've been waiting for you for so long. And right now there's a war between the vanities. All I see is you and me, and the fight for you is all I've ever known. Ever known. Come home. I've been waiting for you for so long. And right now there's a war between the vanities. All I see is you and the I've ever known. So come home. Thank you. So now I promise we're going to pick it back up in about approximately ETA 3 minutes. The entire temperature, well, it's already hot as hell, but it will change. But I wanted to, and we've never done this before in a concert in the history of this band, but we're doing it tonight. So in the last couple months, we lost a couple people. Chris Cornell was a friend of mine. I wrote with him, I produced him. To be honest, I was one of those kids that was late to the game on Nirvana. It's weird, where I grew up, hip hop was kind of it. And then as big as Nirvana was, it was Soundgarden that pulled me in to the Seattle scene, to rock. And Cornell was a rock god, and if you met the guy, he was the gentlest, kindest, most soft-spoken, and also if you're a lead singer of a band, you just don't want to be in the room with him because all eyes just go to him. That's just and he was the most wonderful human being. Anyway, he passed, which I still believe to be, fundamentally believed to be some kind of insane accident, because even on that day, he was incredibly happy. We have the same manager. So he spoke to him that day, his wife, and I'm not going to get into all the details, but you know, prescription drugs can be dangerous, I'll leave it at that. So, and depression is a real thing. And a lot of us in this audience have lost people to depression and suicide. My wife has lost 5 friends from high school to suicide. It's a real thing. Mental illness is the issue, and it's like trying to throw a dart at a ghost, so it's incredibly difficult to pin down. And you want to blame other things and outside forces, but mental illness plays the predominant role. You know, we obviously, most of you in this crowd know that we lost Chester Bennington in Lincoln Park. We've had the pleasure of meeting those guys. I've hung with Mike Shinoda a little bit more than Chester, but when we first signed a record deal, the first dinner we had with our label, Lincoln Park walks in 2007, 2006, and sat down next to us at this Thai restaurant in LA, and my hands were sweating. Chester Bennington was sitting next to me. And then out of nowhere he reaches, he's like, "Hey man, nice to meet you." Just like the nicest, never met me, I'm nobody. And here's Lincoln Park sitting next to us, and I'll never forget that till the day I die. And I got to communicate with a few of those guys over the years and know them to be incredibly gracious and amazing. And needless to say, we lost him in the last 24 hours. I've never really done a dedication song, and I didn't feel comfortable doing a Lincoln Park song tonight, but at Chris Cornell's funeral, Chester performed. And he sang Hallelujah. The last thing I'm going to do is do a song and dedicate it to Chester and Chris, and do a song I don't know. I do know this one. So I'm going to do just a little bit of it, and if you feel free to sing along, and hopefully I can make it through it. But this goes out to Chester and Lincoln Park and Chris, and all the fans of 2 of the best bands of the last 2 decades.
Heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? When it goes like this, the 4th, the 5th, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bleeding on the roof, her beauty on the moonlight overthrew you. tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 Thank you.
I produced him. To be honest, I was one of those kids that was late to the game on Nirvana. It's weird, where I grew up, hip hop was kind of it. And then as big as Nirvana was, it was Soundgarden that pulled me in to the Seattle scene and to rock. And Cornell was a rock god. And if you met the guy, he was the gentlest, kindest, most soft-spoken. And also, if you're a lead singer of a band, you just don't want to be in the room with him because all eyes just go to him. That's just and he was the most wonderful human being. Anyway, he passed, which I still believed to be, fundamentally believed to be some kind of insane accident, because even on that day, he was incredibly happy. We have the same manager. So he spoke to him that day, his wife, and I'm not going to get into all the details, but, you know, prescription drugs can be dangerous, I'll leave it at that. So, and depression is a real thing. And a lot of us in this audience have lost people to depression and suicide. My wife has lost 5 friends from high school to suicide. It's a real thing. Mental illness is the issue, and it's like trying to throw a dart at a ghost. So it's incredibly difficult to pin down, and you want to blame other things and outside forces, but mental illness plays the predominant role. You know, we obviously, most of you in this crowd know that we lost Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park. We've had the pleasure of meeting those guys. I've hung with Mike Shinoda a little bit more than Chester, but when we first signed a record deal, the first dinner we had with our label, Lincoln Park walks in, 2007, 2006, and sat down next to us at this Thai restaurant in LA, and my hands were sweating. Chester Bennington was sitting next to me. And then out of nowhere, he reaches, he's like, "Hey man, nice to meet you." Just like the nicest, never met me, I'm nobody. And here's Lincoln Park sitting next to us, and I'll never forget that till the day I die. And I got to communicate with a few of those guys over the years and know them to be incredibly gracious and amazing. And needless to say, we lost him in the last 24 hours. I've never really done a dedication song, and I didn't feel comfortable doing a Linkin Park song tonight, but at Chris Cornell's funeral, Chester performed, and he sang Hallelujah. The last thing I'm going to do is do a song and dedicate it to Chester and Chris, and do a song I don't know. I do know this one. So I'm gonna do just a little bit of it, and if you feel free to sing along, and hopefully I can make it through this. But this goes out to Chester and Lincoln Park and Chris and all the fans of two of the best bands of the last 2 decades.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the road, her beauty on the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night, it's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Make it through this. But this goes out to Chester and Lincoln Park and Chris and all the fans of two of the best bands of the last 2 decades.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty on the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Thank you.